Hello, what it is, Boxie Nigma here, hopefully you there. Welcome to another edition of the Boxie Breakdown, and this week we're going to be taking on the NFL Week 13 lines against the spread. Of course, we're going to keep the same format we've been doing the last couple weeks here. This is the third week we're going to be doing this. We're going to be looking at the top three picks, Thursday night, Sunday night, Monday Night Football. Before we get into it, let me just say that last week had a perfect Thanksgiving, and I would have actually kept all three of those lines on my regular picks had I done that. Didn't though, so we ended up falling to 3-3 to close out the week. So in all, 6-3 if you include the Thanksgiving games. If you don't, 3-3. I'm trying to make myself look better here. Cut me some slack. But if you don't want to cut me slack, or even if you do, let's jump right into the Thursday night game tonight. It's in Philadelphia with the Houston Texans coming into town after a big 21-0 victory over the Tennessee Titans. That being said, the Tennessee Titans don't really have a quarterback, so I don't know how telling that victory is. Point spread is 9. You know how much I hate big point spreads, but I do think this might be a blowout in Philly tonight. Vic is going to be able to expose that secondary. That secondary is really weak. When they start to need more help on those big receivers, D-Jax and Jeremy Maclin, I do believe Vic's going to have an opportunity to then run or pass it off to LaShawn McClain, whatever. Sorry, the running back. And thus, I do believe that even though it's 9, I like Philly at home tonight. Philly by 9 over Houston. Top three picks. We're going to first start with what I think is the absolute bargain on the board. Chicago Bears heading into Detroit, and they're 4.5-point favorites. This could be sucker bet of the century, and I'd still take it. Detroit is done. They're finished. I told you that last week. What happened? They come out. They always come out real fired up. They go up by a couple scores in the first half, and then the second half, they're finished. They take the pedal off the metal, and they lose big. And I think that's going to happen again this week. Chicago's for real. Smacked around the Eagles last week for most of that game. And they're proving that they are a powerhouse, and I think they're going to take that NFC North. I really do. So Chicago over Detroit by 4.5. Pick number 1. Pick number 2. I really do believe, as much as I love the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, and I love Raheem Morris from Hofstra University, a school that I went to and have a lot of pride in, I honestly believe it's time that Raheem Morris and the Tampa Bay Buccaneers start to fall back down. Ended up losing last week, and while they're a good team, they're only 3-point underdogs to Atlanta, who I believe is the best team in the NFC. They came out last week. People can say they find a way to win. That's fine. The fact is they do. And last week they did it against a very, very good Green Bay Packer team. They keep doing it each and every week. They're an absolute for-real team, and I believe this could get ugly. And 3 points, take it. Falcons by 3 over the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. My last pick, kind of flipping between two of them. Tennessee does not have a quarterback, so I do believe that I take Jacksonville at 1.5 dogs there. But Jacksonville's inconsistent, so let's go with a more safe choice. The Cincinnati Bengals, I told you last week when they played the Jets, they are terrible, and they still are. New Orleans Saints last week came in, they were beating the smack out of the Cowboys, let the Cowboys back into it, still got the win. I don't think there's any way they'll let Cincinnati back into this game. I think by 7, even though it's on the road, I think New Orleans is ready. I think they're not messing around anymore. They're getting into playoff zone. They got to at least make the playoffs. They're going to. And I honestly believe Saints are going to destroy the Cincinnati Bengals. So take the Saints by 7 in Cincinnati. Moving on to the 2 best games of the week. The Sunday night game, Monday night game. Was I just doing the Macarena? Maybe. In any event, I digress. Sunday night, you got Pittsburgh heading into Baltimore to take on the Baltimore Ravens. Ravens are favored by 3, which basically means they're saying the teams are even. They aren't, though. Baltimore has pretty much recently been getting on a bit of a roll. They've been beating teams by a little bit here and there. They've been starting to beat teams by a little bit more. Pittsburgh, on the other hand, seems to be squeaking by. They seem to be like Jets light almost. And thankfully, the Jets did have a convincing victory, but whatever. Back to what I was saying. Last week, they barely squeaked by the Bills. I don't think that Pittsburgh's as good as the Ravens. I think Ravens know this is crunch time. I think Ravens are going to get the win here like they did the first time around. I take the Ravens by 3 at home over the Steelers. And finally, the Monday Night Showdown. My New York Jets heading into Foxborough to take on Tom Brady, his long locks, and the New England Patriots. It's tough, because I am a Jets fan, so you know I'm always going to pick the Jets. But at 3.5-point underdogs, I do believe Jets are the pick here. Sure, New England might win, but I think they're going to get that late field goal if they're going to win. It's not going to, I think it'll be real close. I think both teams are even. Sure, I like Ben Jarvis, Green Ellis in the run package. I think New England's going to exploit the Jets' run defense on that. But I think the Jets are all-around better team, and I believe the New England Patriots have a much weaker defense. So I expect the New York Jets to beat the New England Patriots in Foxborough, or at least cover at 3.5-point underdogs. To recap real quick tonight, Philly over Houston by 9. Sunday, my number 1 pick, Chicago by 4.5 in Detroit. Atlanta by 3 in Tampa Bay. And New Orleans by 7 in Cincinnati. I'm sorry, I keep picking road teams. I know it's not the way to go, but I'm confident in these 3 teams. It's a big week this week. I'm confident about this. Sunday night, a little difficult, tough game, but I'm taking Baltimore at home against Pitt by 3. And then I'm taking the New York Jets, the team that always finds a way, and I can think they will do it again. 3.5 dogs in Foxborough. Those are my picks this week. I'm out. I apologize if I went a little long. Take it easy. Be well. Deuces. Check out the Boxie Blitz. Follow me on Twitter. Twitter.com/BoxyNigma. Take care and be well.